Yu Kai Wei. Okay, apa yang kita belajar? What you learn? Still remember last week? Oh, maybe tak dengar ya. Okay, Nuraisyah Balqis. Okay. Okay, no one respond. Okay, let me see. Abdul apa tu? Abdul Muaz ke apa? Okay, yes, Abdul. Okay. Process strategy and product strategy. We compare, right? And we'll discuss about mass customization. Okay. Okay, what else we have learned? Okay, Muhammad Isamuddin.
Hello.
Hello, ya.
Dengar. Kita sentuh sikit pasal capacity planning.
Capacity planning pasal apa tu?
Kita sebut pasal capacity planning tu apa, lepas tu macam output apa tu, 1 hour how many can we produce ke. Lepas tu doktor suruh baca tentang break even cost, di mana kalau cost tu sama dengan apa tu, line tu tambah, dia samalah cost dengan revenue tu sama.
Okay. Okay, so correct. Yes, we have touched on break even analysis. Break even analysis. Okay, Winston, what you remember about break even analysis? Break even analysis. Oh, dia tak faham. Break even analysis. Okay, anyone please volunteer. What do you remember about break even analysis? Ingat. Okay, Yi Tin Tan. Okay, what is break even analysis? Okay, tak ingat juga. Okay, Ilya Najwa. Okay, what is break even analysis?
Break even analysis tu dia teknik untuk kita kira apa proses dengan equipment yang alternatif.
Okay, break even analysis ialah kita membandingkan alternatif. Kita nak select alternatif mana. Alright, so you can switch off your camera. I will move on with switch off. You can switch off if you have problem in internet, line slow or whatever. Okay, at the end, I will ask you to open again. I will ask you to summarize what you learned today. Okay, please listen carefully. Alright, so okay, do you see my slide now? Hello, can someone?
Yes.
Okay. So now we are, okay, I'm going to touch a little bit more on this crossover chart, okay, ataupun we call it a break-even analysis, okay. So this is okay, we call it break-even analysis. Okay, break-even. Okay, in this break-even analysis, what we can do is we want to make a decision. Okay, nak pilih contohnya process A or process B or process C, because what we have in terms of cost, you have fixed cost and variable cost. Okay, you're going to have fixed cost and you're going to have variable cost. Okay, contohnya we want to make a decision nak beli mesin A ke atau mesin B. Fixed cost yang berbeza, variable cost pun berbeza. Okay, what is fixed cost? Fixed cost adalah cost yang tidak bergantung kepada kuantiti. Okay, not dependent on unit produced. You produce 1 unit is the same as produce 100 unit. Okay, the cost is still the same. Okay, not dependent on unit produced. Okay, number of unit produced. So in the diagram, what we have is when it is fixed cost, okay, fixed cost, this is fixed cost. Okay, this example, low volume. For example, in low volume, high variety, say let's say process A, maybe repetitive is using process B. So this is the fixed cost. Whether you produce, okay, this horizontal representing quantity, produce tak produce pun cost yang sama. Okay, kalau you produce increase in term of quantity pun sama. Ini kita panggil fixed cost. Okay, not dependent number produced. So they are just a straight line. Variable cost, okay, variable cost is a cost where you produce more, okay, produce more, you will have higher cost. Okay, produce more, higher cost. Okay, but you see the slope is, this is higher, this is lower slope. This is even lower slope. Okay, so we can see from this diagram, when you have high volume, okay, low variety, which is most likely it is coming from apa kita panggil product focus. Okay, this is most likely from product focus. Okay, in product focus, okay, volume for similar model is high, variety is low. Okay, you have very limited model. So you can see the slope here is smaller, meaning that unit produced, the cost for variable cost per unit is lower. Okay, the more you produce, okay, we have lower unit cost. Okay, but fixed cost is high. Okay, fixed cost is high. For product focus, fixed cost is high. If we compare to process focus, okay, process focus. In process focus, okay, low volume, high variety. So the fixed cost is relatively lower, okay, compared to this one. Okay, but variable cost is high. Okay, the slope is high. You see the slope here is higher. Okay, the slope is higher. The slope of this is higher compared to this one. Okay, so when we have process focus, the fixed cost relatively lower, but variable cost is high. But when you have product focus, fixed cost is high, variable cost is lower. So we use crossover chart, okay, to determine, okay, which strategy we should use. Should we use fixed process focus or product focus? But repetitive is just in between. In between. Let's see example here. Let me show you the example. Okay, let's say we have this scenario here. Okay, let's say you are considering 3 alternatives. Okay, this example is 3 different software. Let's say you want to buy a software. Okay, this is different example than selecting strategy. But let's say you have different fixed costs and different unit cost, variable cost. Okay, variable cost is different here. Okay, so we have here fixed cost, we have here variable cost. Okay, variable cost. So we need to make comparison which software we should buy, for example. Okay, so if we want to know, okay, we want to know, okay, what should be the break-even point comparing, for example, in this case, In this case, we are comparing software 1 and software number 2. 200,000. We are comparing between this software and this software. Okay, we want to know where is break even, which is the minimum number that we need to use this software so that we will be equally no loss and no profit. So this is software A, this is software B. So what we have here is fixed cost, this is variable cost. This is fixed cost, variable cost. Solving this, finally we get this number. So this is what is showing here. Let's say you plot graphically. You have 200K. Okay, this is the point. Let's say this is 200. And let's say this point is 300. Okay, if I take this number and this number. Okay, and this is actually, if you continue, it's just a fixed line. Okay, 60. So this is, let's say, V. V is volume or quantity. Sometimes we use it Q, okay, the volume. So from 200,000, and the slope will be like this. Okay, let's say this is the slope for, this line is representing 200,000. Okay, I put K to represent 1,000 plus 60V. 60V. Okay, and the other one is 300,000. Okay, 300,000 is higher, but the slope is lower because it's 25. So you're going to have a line like this. Okay, so this line representing 300. Okay, because it's higher than 200, plus 25. V. Okay, V1. So this is the point that we want to find. Okay, this is the point that we want to find. So at this point, if we solve this simultaneous equation, you get V1 equal to 2857. Okay, 2857. So this is what we call it break-even point. Okay, break-even point. Okay, break-even point. So meaning that the cost is the same. Either you are buying software A or software B. Okay, with that amount of jobs to be done. Okay, so okay, this is how we want to compare. But we can also use break-even point, okay, to identify is there any loss or is there any profit. But now we just use break-even for comparing. So if we are producing more than 2857, we should use software B because it is cheaper. Okay, this line is cheaper. Okay, but if we are producing less than 2857, okay, we should use A. Okay, A will be cheaper. Okay, A will be cheaper. Okay, this one is cheaper. Okay, if you are producing less than this, but if you produce more, okay, we should take B. Okay, software B. Okay, so we will discuss more on this break-even for profit and loss later on. So this is what we get. Okay, even we can compare all these three alternatives. For example, in this case, okay, if you want to compare three, so our concern here to find what is this break-even, what is this break-even, what is this break-even. Okay, because this is total cost. Okay, our decision will be based on the volume that we produce. Okay, so we select lower volume is better. Let's say this one 666, the break-even between B and C. B and C. So if you produce more than 666, we should use C. Okay, so if we produce between 666 and 2857, we should select process B. Okay, process A here is referring to this one. Okay, the lowest cost if you are producing less than this. Okay, so this crossover chart is actually comparing between total cost, where fixed cost and variable cost play an important role. Right. Any question before I move to new one?
No, doctor.
All right. So let me move on to again also break even. Okay. Okay. Nampak sekarang Hello?
Tak nampak lagi, doktor.
Tak nampak lagi. Okay. Let me see what happened. Sekarang nampak ya?
Nampak, doktor.
Okay. So this is coming from chapter 7S. Okay, again, break-even analysis. So where we are using this to evaluate process and equipment alternative. Okay, break-even analysis is to evaluate process and equipment alternative. So the objective is to find point in dollar or in monetary value and unit at which cost equal revenue. Okay, now we are using break-even analysis for decision either we are making profit or we are losing. Okay, require estimate fixed cost and variable cost and revenue. Okay, for the purpose of knowing is there any revenue or is there any loss. Okay, as mentioned earlier, okay, so revenue, what is meaning of revenue? To anyone, please, what is revenue?
Sales.
Okay, revenue is coming from sales. So you can have price, okay, multiplied by quantity. Okay, price by quantity or price multiplied by volume. Okay, in terms of cost, cost will be fixed cost, okay, plus variable cost. Okay. Okay, what will be the profit? What is profit? Nampak tak saya tulis ni?
Nampak saya?
Alright. What is profit? Azhar. Okay, what is profit?
Revenue
Huh?
minus cost.
Okay, okay, very good. Revenue minus cost. Or sometimes people call it sales. Okay. Sales or revenue minus total cost. Okay, minus total cost. So I forgot to put here total cost. Total cost. Okay, total cost. Okay, profit is revenue minus total cost. Okay. Okay, so we have also what is total cost? Total cost is coming from fixed costs, okay, and also variable cost. Okay, what are example of fixed cost and variable cost? Okay. Okay, fixed costs. What are the fixed costs? Fixed cost is coming from, okay, for example, okay, building cost. Okay, the fixed costs are costs that continue even no unit are produced. Ya, seperti saya katakan tadi, either you produce small quantity or no quantity produced, you still have to pay. For example, building kan, you dah buat bangunan, either you produce or you not, you still have to pay. Okay, doesn't depend on quantity produced. So it also can come from depreciation. Okay, dalam accounting there are depreciation. Like this is like you are renting. Okay, cost per year, how much you pay, how much is the depreciation go to your account okay, for that building cost. Okay, you can consider as the cost of using that facilities ataupun capacity, depreciation cost. Okay, cost menyewa contohnya. Okay, still have to pay cost menyewa. Okay, we call it depreciation cost. It doesn't depend on quantity produced. Ataupun tax for the hutang, mortgage payment. So basically this is cost like building, buying machine, okay, renting a machine. This is a cost where not depend on quantity. Variable cost, we assume that more product produced, more unit produced, the cost will be higher. Contohnya kalau you bayar pekerja based on hourly rate, 1 jam bekerja, dia dapat RM10, 2 jam kerja RM20, 3 jam kerja RM30. Same also material, the more you produce, you have to pay more. Okay, same also for electricity. The more machine you run, okay, the more bill that you have to pay. So this is, we call it variable cost. Okay. Okay. So if we put it in this line, macam saya tunjukkan tadi, okay, same, we have fixed cost, we have variable cost. This is total cost. Okay, total cost. This is cost. Okay, total cost. Unit produced, the quantity. Okay, we just concerned about this blue line, blue line. This line disappear later on. We just know that this is fixed cost. Okay. If you have sales, you're going to get this line. Okay, zero quantities we sell, we got zero. Okay, so up to a certain point, we call it break-even point. Okay, break-even point where total cost will be equal total revenue. The red line is the revenue because it is selling price, okay, multiplied by quantity that you are selling. Okay, so this is a cost, total cost, where you have fixed cost 200. Okay, variable cost is given by this line. Higher variable cost, higher slope. Okay, lower variable cost is lower slope. So somewhere here, you're going to have break even. In break even, there is no profit, no loss. Okay, you see that this line, no profit, no loss. So if you want to make a profit, you must produce more than break even. Okay, you must produce more than break even point. So if you produce less than break even, you are losing. We call it loss corridor. This is profit corridor. Okay, up to this point, everyone clear? Hello?
Clear, sir.
Clear, Doctor, clear.
All right. So this is where we use break-even analysis to know how much quantity that we should produce, because the quantity will determine, for example, to select what strategy to use. Okay, what strategy in production we should use. If you produce high quantity, we should go for product focus, where the unit that we produce is unit cost per unit. Unit cost that we produce per unit is low, but fixed cost is high, but we need to produce enough quantity. Okay, jumlah quantity yang mencukupi untuk justify that we should use product focus. But if we don't have enough quantity to produce, okay, you may have to select process focus. What is process focus? Process focus most likely kebiasaannya fixed costnya adalah rendah, relatively rendah berbanding dengan proses fokus, tetapi variable costnya tinggi. Okay, variable costnya tinggi kalau proses fokus. Okay, so this is assumption. When we do break-even analysis, we assume that the costs are linear. Okay, sometimes costs are not linear. The more you produce, actually you can bring down the unit cost lower price. Okay, but in this case, we just assume that the cost is linearly related. Okay, unit cost is related to the quantity that you produce. Okay, but in real life, the more you produce, actually unit price will bring down lower. Okay, so we actually know this cost. Okay, so we made assumption that we know the cost. Okay, time value of money is not considered in this analysis, but later on you will learn in engineering economy, money has time value. Okay, as I mentioned last time, okay, RM1 today is not same as RM1 5 years ago. Okay, RM1 today mungkin boleh beli karipap 2 biji sahaja. Okay, mungkin 5 tahun lepas boleh beli 4 biji. Okay, so the value of money has depleted. Okay, dah berkurang. So dalam case ini, simple case ini, kita assume bahawa okay, time value of money is not considered. Okay, we ignore that. All right, so that is enough for break-even. Let me go back to capacity. Okay, capacity analysis. Okay, there are several parameters that we need to understand in capacity. Capacity in a simple way, we say that it is, for example, in a ballroom ataupun theater, how many people that can go in. So that is capacity. Kalau we are talking in manufacturing, we would like to know that, okay, for a warehouse, okay, how many quantity of products, okay, that this warehouse can hold. Okay, or throughput, okay, we call it throughput, or number of units, okay, the facility can hold, can receive, can store, or can a machine can produce. This is what we mean by capacity. Capacity of machine, how much it can produce in 1 hour, for example. Kalau kita kata capacity of a store, how many unit of product can be put in store. Okay, kalau kita kata mungkin receiving area, how many shipment that the product can receive, and so on. Okay, so the capacity determine fixed cost. Okay, fixed cost, and also determine if demand can be satisfied. Okay, if we don't have capacity, we cannot accept order by customer. That's very important for us to know the capacity. Okay, we cannot just take order, but we cannot deliver, because this will give negative implication. Okay, I already mentioned this. Capacity is long range planning. Okay, long range planning, where we decide either to add facilities ataupun to accept, okay, longer lead time. Okay, so facilities ataupun decision related to capacity is long range planning. Okay, so we have short range planning like scheduling. Okay, we can improve capacity by having good schedule. Okay, by having good scheduling, we can improve capacity kalau kita properly schedule our production. Okay. Okay, so in discussing about capacity, we have to understand we have design capacity and effective capacity. Okay, I want you to read. Please read this. What is design capacity? What is effective capacity? What is the difference? Okay, I would like to ask, okay, any one of you, or you can volunteer. What is the difference between design capacity and effective capacity? Okay, please read my slide. What do you understand? Please, anyone, volunteer.
So,
Yes.
design capacity is like the theoretically how much at max you can produce,
Okay.
while effective capacity is like based on what conditions you are, how much you can produce at most.
Okay, what do you understand by condition?
It's
Tanesh,
like
right? Okay, Tanesh.
yes.
Okay.
It's like how much, like setakat yang mampu, sir. I don't know how to explain that part.
Okay, what is the difference now? The design and effective. Okay, design. Okay, proceed.
Design is like ideal conditions, sir.
All right. Design is ideal condition where you first design a factory. Okay, you know that this design capacity can take certain amount of unit, but when you are operating, okay, there are some limitation to it. Okay, so there might be machine is working slower than as expected. Okay, so because constraint is operating condition. Okay, operating condition is not perfect and not as the theoretical design. Okay, let's say you go to a classroom. The capacity of classroom is 100 students, but suddenly all the students come in, but 2 chairs are broken. Okay, so a capacity of 100 can take how many students now? 2 chairs broken.
98.
98. So this is, we call it effective capacity. Okay, yeah, it's designed. See, on paper, it's 100 students can go in, but when 100 students come in, 2 chairs cannot be used. Okay, so we end up with 98. So effective is subject to operating condition. Same also in factory. Sometimes we design a machine to run to produce, let's say 100 units per hour. But because of machine sometimes got stuck, you have to stop the machine to adjust the machine. Okay, because of that we lost the time. We lose the time, operating time loss because of operating constraint, which is some material stuck to the machine. So you may able to produce only 98 units. Okay, because time has lost to adjust the machine. Okay, so now you have to understand capacity, design capacity and effective capacity are two different things. Effective is considering operating constraint. Okay, kekangan masa menggunakannya. Okay, so normally of course it is lower than design capacity. Right, so we also have to know the utilization. Okay, what is utilization and what is efficiency? Okay, utilization is basically a ratio between actual divided by design. Okay, so in the case just now, a machine that can produce actual can produce 98 units. Okay, because of poor maintenance, we got components stuck. Okay, we cannot move, we have to stop. We have to service the machine. Okay, design is 100. So now utilization is only 0.98. Okay, so utilization is a ratio. So what is efficiency? Efficiency is the percent of effective capacity actually achieved. So actual output divided by effective capacity. Okay, this is efficiency. So let's say the actual output is 98 unit. Effective is also 98. So you now efficiency is 100%. Okay, but if your actual output, let's say there are few component damage, okay, you have to reject. Okay, you have to reject. Okay, the actual one is not 98 because maybe you have to remove 3 unit rosak, 3 unit rosak. So the actual might be 98. Okay, so let's say I give a different example. Let's say 3 rosak. Okay, defective. Okay, so your actual output actually is 95. Okay, actually is 95. Okay, your effective capacity is 98. Okay, now you have less than 100%. Okay, so it will be what, 90 something, right? So this is efficiency. Okay, so what actually actual output divide the effective capacity. Okay, so remember the effective capacity is due to operating constraint. Operating constraint that you cannot avoid. But when actual production, okay, in actual production, you may get lower, okay, than effective capacity. So might be due to skill of manpower. Okay, the skill, the workers are not efficient enough. Okay, produce less, so efficiency is lower then. Okay, even though the effective capacity allow them to produce more than the actual. Okay. Okay, this example here, a simple example. Actual production is 148 rolls. This is in the bakery example, 148 rolls. Effective capacity is 175. Design capacity is 1,200 per hour. Remember this per hour. The others is per week. Okay, this per week, this per hour. So let's say this bakery operate 7 days per week. So 3 shift, 8 hours per shift. So design capacity is 7 days multiplied by 3 shift, 8 hours per shift, and this is production per hour. So theoretically, should produce 201,600. But utilization, okay, utilization is not 2,000. I mean, not fully utilized, because why? The actual production is only 148. Okay, 148 divided by design. So now we have utilization only 73.4% of the capacity is being used. Okay, So if we look at efficiency, efficiency is actual divided by 175. 175? 175 is capacity, effective capacity, where we consider operating constraint. Okay, so the running of that production is not as it is in terms of what we call this not as it's supposed to be, even after considering operating constraint. Okay, so efficiency will be 84.6%. Okay, because we consider this is operating constraint. So you need to understand this. Okay, design capacity, effective capacity, utilization, and efficiency. So if you want to know the expected output, okay, we can get this from effective capacity multiplied by efficiency. Okay, effective capacity and the efficiency, you know what is the actual output. Okay, actual output. It's the same formula. Okay, like this one, this formula. This one is up. Okay, so actual output divided by effective. Okay, you get the efficiency. So if you want to know actual output, okay, actual output, okay, the expected output means expected actual output. Okay, so we can know what is the effective capacity, okay, and multiply by efficiency. Okay, consideration, capacity. If you want to decide what capacity that you want to build, okay, for your maybe manufacturing, you need to know that what is the forecast demand. Okay, permintaannya berapa agak-agak. We have to make a forecast, ramalan. If you build a factory, how big is your factory to be built? You need to know the forecast demand. Okay, because we're not sure who will buy, but we can forecast. Okay, so there are many factors influencing the forecasting. It could be the income of the population. Okay, how many people in that area? Okay, the standard of living. Okay, what are the factors? Maybe for those who are buying through, let's say, getting loan from bank, either bank is giving loans or not. Okay, so what is the rate of interest rate in the bank? So all this influence the potential demand. Okay, potential demand. Also seasonal demand. Okay, some products the selling is based on seasonal. Okay, for example, you are selling ice cream in the raining days. Okay, the demand for ice cream is lower compared to a sunny day. Okay, same also if you are selling air conditioner. Okay, when there is the raining season, those are selling aircon, less sale compared to during when there is a time that temperature is high, people go and buy more air conditioners. Okay, so we need to focus, and there are factors influencing this. We need to match, okay, the technology and the volume that we are expecting the demand, our sales volume. Find the optimum operating size. Okay, and also when we build a facility, we have to consider possible change, possible increment. Okay, we can expect that in future, in 5 years, is that going to be increase in demand? So we have to design potential for expansion. Okay, potential for expansion. Because if you design just cukup-cukup, so you may have problem when there is demand is high. So that cause that maybe the company has to move to another new area. Okay, so it is good to have design with future change or expansion in consideration. People are talking about economic scale. For example, there is economic scale. Okay, there is a break even, what we call it, optimum value. Okay, for example, this value, economies of scale. Okay, how much? Because quantity will determine. Okay, the optimum value here. If you produce less, it's more costly. If produce more, it become more costly. So there will be economy of scale. Okay, economy of scale. Okay, So I want to talk a little bit about demand and supply. There is a demand and supply. So how we can manage demand, okay, and also we have the issues related to okay. So I think somewhere else in different slide we have supply. Okay. When we want to decide capacity, okay, we need to understand of demand. Okay, demand adalah permintaan lah. Okay. If demand exceed capacity, maknanya permintaan melebihi kapasiti yang kita ada. Okay, so what we need to do? Okay, demand is so good, but we don't have capacity to produce. Okay, so remember that our objective is to have demand equal to capacity. Equal to capacity. Okay, our equation is very simple, not complicated like you study thermodynamic or fluid mechanics. Okay, very simple. Demand equal to capacity. Yeah, but the understanding is very important. Okay, what happens if demand exceed capacity? Okay, can anyone give opinion? What happens if demand exceed capacity? Keadaan macam mana boleh berlaku ni? Or you can give example in real life. Apa berlaku? Demand is more than capacity.
Contoh
Sir,
Apa?
bila
harga
demand
naik.
harga naik.
Harga naik. Demand lebih
Contohnya
bersikap.
macam laptop sir. Sekarang kan online learning. So
Yes.
laptop harga semua melambung.
Okay, yes, correct. Okay, demand is tinggi, kapasiti pengeluaran tak sampai, tak mencukupi. Betul? Pergi mana-mana kedai pun dah tak ada dah yang murah-murah. Okay, yang 2,000, 2,500 dah tak ada. Yang ada 4,000, 5,000 kan? Okay, that is where demand is more than capacity of production. Okay, capacity dah kilang tak boleh produce, nak cater, semua orang nak komputer. Even sekolah rendah pun nak pakai komputer. Okay, dulu budak universiti je pakai. Okay, so demand. Satu lagi ialah sekarang ni, COVID. Okay, COVID nak dapatkan apa tu yang dipanggil apa tu? Vaksin. Okay, demand for vaccine is high. The capacity of production is less than the demand. So we have to wait and we have to queue. Okay, itu maksudnya demand. So what happened in this situation? Okay, one way is you can curtail demand. Okay, how to do it? You can raise the price. Is it a good strategy? Naikkan harga.
For the company, yes.
This is a short-term strategy. Okay, so my advice to you, when demand is high, don't increase the price because customer will run away and you create more competition. Okay, those who are, having also knowledge in this area, they will set up a new company and open and selling a cheaper price, and you are losing the customer. Okay, so an ethical producer will maintain the same price. Okay, even the demand is good. Okay, because long term, this is the way it should go. Kalau some businesses take opportunity, demand tinggi dia naik harga. So next time, there will be alternative. Okay, somebody else will produce similar product, and you go and buy a cheaper one with good quality from alternative supplier. Okay, another strategy we can do is what we do, rescheduling. Okay, longer lead time. Maknanya kita menerima tempahan tetapi kita janji, okay, tak dapat hari ni, mungkin dapat 2 bulan lagi. Ni especially for bukan urgent lah. Okay, produk yang bukan urgent. Okay, what happen is capacity exceed demand. Okay, apa berlaku? Apa contoh di sini? Capacity lebih daripada demand. Apa berlaku?
Harga jatuh.
Harga jatuh. Okay, harga jatuh. Okay, capacity lebih daripada demand. Okay, so jadi apa yang kita boleh buat, okay, to stimulate the market is we can stimulate the market. Okay, maksudnya apa stimulate the market? To increase the demand. Okay, demand tak ada sekarang ni. Kita buat bisnes tapi tak ada orang datang pembeli. Okay, kita buat bisnes katakan, okay, part time lah. Okay, mungkin duduk kat rumah, belajar pun online, mungkin nak buat bisnes nasi kerabu. Okay, pagi-pagi kan. Tengok demand tak ada, macam mana nak buat ni? Banyak buat ni tapi tak laku. Apa nak buat?
Advertise.
Alright. So advertise, stimulate Stimulate market is by advertising, okay, giving promotion. Okay, so this is how you stimulate. Sebenarnya demand tak ada, tapi kita create awareness. Okay, kita masuk dalam Facebook, kita masuk Instagram. Okay, kita minta kawan kita promote. Tiba-tiba demand pun naik. Okay, so this is what we call it stimulate the market. Okay, jadi kalau kita pergi pasar raya, dia cakap sale, 50% sale. Okay, setiap masa sale kan. So be careful lah, sebenarnya that is how to stimulate the demand. Okay, bukan special sangat, tapi nak stimulate the demand supaya pelanggan tertarik. Okay, kadang-kadang kita pergi beli satu dapat satu. Satu yang diberi percuma tu ialah mungkin produk yang dah tak laku, yang dah obsolete. Okay, so that's how some tactics people are doing in marketing lah. Okay, we have to be careful kalau banyak sangat sale tu. Okay, betul tak sale ni? Kadang-kadang sale tu tengok benda yang dah nak expired. 50% sales, tengok deadline dia punya expiry date, esok. Okay, so kita makannya tak sedar, next week baru nak makan. Okay, especially processed food, canned food, all this. Okay, so that also people are doing that. So we as customer, we have to be smart lah. We know that actually if there is a lot of advertisement tu, dia nak stimulate the market. Okay, ataupun kalau there is no demand, we need to improve the products lah, design. And also we can use a strategy what we call it adjusting seasonal demand. Okay, adjusting to seasonal demand. Contohnya certain product, the demand is following seasonal. Dalam contoh ini ditunjukkan snowmobile motor dengan jet ski. Okay, jet ski. So this is the demand and this is the demand. So the demand of this product following season, ikut musim, ikut musim. Contoh yang saya katakan tadi, you are in business of jual aiskrim. Kalau bulan masa tengkujuh, okay, aiskrim dia menurun. Okay, kita mempunyai kilang untuk membuat makanan. Jadi kalau musim tengkujuh, aiskrim tak laku. Apa yang laku musim hujan? Payung. Boleh tak kedai aiskrim keluarkan payung?
Kopi. Aiskrim goreng.
Aiskrim goreng. Okey, aiskrim goreng tak macam mana tu? Saya pernah nampak juga tapi tak pernah makan. Okey, musim tengkujuh jual aiskrim, semua barang-barang sejuk kan, tak laku ni bulan Disember ni. So kita nak buat apa? We need to find a product that can match, okay, supaya dapat warna biru ni. Aiskrim tak laku, tapi musim tengkujuh apa yang laku?
Kerupuk leko.
Kerupuk leko. Pau. Okay, benda-benda yang panas kan? Tapi janganlah kilam aiskrim, okay, lepas tu keluarkan payung. The business dah lari tu, tak ada mesin. Okay, peralatan berbeza. Jadi kalau kita in food business, okay, aiskrim tak laku, okay, keluar kerupuk leko. Assuming kerupuk leko laku masa musim tengkujuh. Okay, macam itulah. So, we have to understand the trend of sale. Ada ketikanya sale-nya tinggi, ada ketikanya sale-nya rendah. Okey, apakah sale yang bermusim lagi? Selain makanan.
Kuih raya.
Kuih raya. Okey, musim raya tempahan kek tinggi kan? Okey, kalau masa bukan musim raya nak buat apa? Tutup kedai ke?
Cookies.
Okey, mungkin kita buat produk makanan lain lah, mungkin yang boleh disimpan lama kan?
Pelbagaikan produk.
Okay, these are the strategi lah. Sebab kita mempunyai pekerja. Kita tak boleh adakan pekerja duduk saja ya. Okay, jadi when you understand the pattern of demand, you can plan when to produce the product, bulan bila and so on. Okay, katakan kita mempunyai kilang pakaian. Okay, mungkin dia hujung tahun, okay, kita busy mengeluarkan pakaian untuk sekolah. Okay, kerana expecting demand untuk pakaian uniform sekolah tinggi. So apabila musim sekolahan dah habis, okay, orang tak beli pakaian sentiasa masa kan. Biasanya awal tahun ramai orang beli ataupun hujung tahun orang beli uniform sekolah. Jadi apabila musim sekolah dah bermula, mungkin kilang kain kita mengeluarkan produk-produk lain, mungkin baju, t-shirt untuk penggunaan umum lah. Okay, so jadi kalau kita dah tengok trend ini, kita boleh dapat warna biru ini. Maksudnya we try to combine the seasonal demand so that our production continues. Okay, so this is important to understand the demand. So So we need to match between demand and capacity. Seperti yang saya sebutkan tadi, these are some of strategy. We make satu strategi adalah kita making staffing chain. This is not good strategy. Maksudnya kita buang pekerja bila demand rendah, kita ambil pekerja bila demand tinggi. This is not a good strategy because we cannot maintain good staff. Okay, adjusting equipment. Kita beli mesin tambahan bila demand tinggi, ataupun kita sewa, ataupun kita jual bila mesin itu rendah. So this is not good strategy ya. 1 dan 2 is not good strategy. But if we can improve process to increase throughput, this is good. Okay, increase throughput maknanya increase capacity. Kita improve proses, kita percepatkan proses, kita permudahkan proses, kita redesign produk. This is a good strategy. Okay, also we redesign product supaya lebih cepat pengeluarannya. And we add flexibility, okay, untuk menangani changes in the demand. Okay, the last one is closing facilities. This is not good one lah. Bila bisnes tak ada, kita tutup. Semua orang tak ada kerja. Okay, but anyway, these are option of tactics. They call it tactics or to address changes in demand. Okay, and then to match with the capacity. The best one is capacity should be equal to demand. Okay, that is the best. We want to get that equation lah. Okay, kalau demand lebih, apa masalah? Capacity lebih pun masalah. Okay. Okay, normally in demand for services, how they manage, they are using appointment. Okay, appointment approach in services macam nak pergi jumpa dentist, kita buat appointment. This is first come first serve rule. Kita nak pergi jumpa barber untuk gunting rambut pun kita boleh buat appointment. This is how people manage demand in services. Okay, ataupun kita boleh gunakan part-time, full-time, part-time workers, temporary workers to increase the capacity. Okay, theory of constraint, I think you can relate this to the bottlenecks. Okay, theory of constraint, the bottleneck. Saya dah sebut sebelum ni bottlenecks. This is when we are talking about production line. Okay, when we have production line, the throughput adalah apa yang terkeluar di hujung ni lah. The throughput time is the time takes a unit to go through production from start to end. Kalau kita kata throughput time, kita mengira daripada awal hingga akhir. Throughput time kat sini adalah 2 campur 4 campur 3, which is 9 minit per unit. This is throughput time. Bottleneck time is the time of the slowest workstation. Okay, what is bottleneck time dalam this diagram? Bottleneck time.
4 minutes B.
4 minutes. Bottleneck is here. Bottleneck is here. Okay, so can we take 10-minute breaks?
Boleh sir.
Right.
Boleh sir.
We take a break now and then come back in 10 minutes. Mana kita panggil bottlenecks. Okay, bottlenecks. So, kalau kita mempunyai parallel line macam ni, ini contoh diberi simple example lah. Kalau dalam manufacturing taklah macam ni. Very simple, ni nak buat sandwich saja. Okay, mungkin Subway, sandwich kata contohnya. Okay, the order take about 30 seconds. Okay, prepare bread and fill. So this is a parallel line. Mungkin this ada mesin yang boleh buat serentak, bread and filling, and then toaster ada satu saja, and then wrap. Okay, jadi soalan sekarang ni, di manakah berlakunya bottleneck?
Toaster.
Toaster? Tak apa tepat
Wrap.
Okay, wrapping bungkus. Okay, pembungkusan itu sebenarnya bottleneck. Okay, bottleneck kat situ. Okay, jadi kalau kita nak tahu how much this production line, how many sandwich can be produced, kita kena gunakan bahawa available time divide by 37.5 second lah. Sebab dia adalah yang constraint di situ. Jadi terminologi yang kita gunakan di sini adalah contohnya kita nak tahu capacity, nak tahu capacity, what is the capacity of making that sandwich, okay, per hour. Okay, sebab masa di sini dalam second, jadi kita dapati 3600 lah, maknanya 60 multiply 60 minute multiply by 60 second per minute dapat 3600. And then bahagi dengan 37.5, so kita tahu bahawa in 1 hour 96 sandwich per hour. That is the capacity of that making of this production line produce sandwich. Okay, kita hanya perlu bagi di sini saja sebab di sini adalah bottlenecknya. Yang lain-lain adalah lebih cepat, lebih cepat. Line ini pun lebih cepat. Okay, semua cepat. Okay, kalau kita nak tahu what is the throughput time? Throughput time. What is throughput time? Okay, Amirul Afif, what is throughput line time?
Time taken for all process.
For all process. Okay, daripada sini sampai ujung, sampai habis. That is throughput time kita panggil. So jadi untuk buat sandwich ni, kita guna contoh yang senang di sini 30, okay, this is 30. Okay, 30 campur dengan 30 campur 15. Okay, 15 di sini. Kita kalau ada dua laluan yang tak sama, kita ambil the longest time. Okay, longest time. Dalam kes ni sama 15 20 Jadi kita tak ada masalah lah nak laluan ini ataupun laluan ini. Okay, kalau ada yang lebih panjang, kita gunakan yang lebih panjang sebagai throughput time. Okay, so 15 campur 20 campur 20 campur 37. So itu adalah throughput time from beginning to end. Okay, beginning to end. Okay, dalam kes ini kita mempunyai dua parallel di sini. Okay, what is the throughput time dalam kes ni? Berapa throughput time dia? From beginning to end.
Tambah 24 ke?
Okay, kita gunakan yang tinggi yang ini 2 campur 2 campur 4 campur 24 campur 6 campur 8 campur 6. So kita ambil yang lebih panjang. Okay, that is throughput time. Itu yang kita dapat. So 46. Okay, 46 is the throughput time. Jadi satu of constraint. Okay, so we identify the constraint, mana bottleneck tadi lah. And then we develop a plan to overcome the constraint. Constraint tadi boleh diatasi dengan adding resources, okay? Ataupun kita reduce the effect of constraint by offloading work or expanding the capacity. Okay? Kita expand capacity di mana constraint itu ada. And then we continue lah. So this is straightforward lah. So whenever you have constraint, you add additional workers ataupun additional equipment. Okay? So that you can remove that constraint lah. Okay. Okay. Lost time at bottleneck represent lost time for the whole system. Okay. So this is very important to understand. Lost time bottleneck represent the whole system. The whole system punya efficiency, effectiveness, productivity bergantung kepada the bottlenecks. Increase capacity non-bottleneck is the barrage. Okay, nothing happen if we improve non-bottlenecks. Okay. So increase capacity of bottleneck, increase capacity of the whole system. Analysis apa dah bincang. I think that's all. I will provide you some question for you to do the exercise related to break even and capacity. Okay, now, okay, there is also break even kat sini. Saya tak apa ni tak bincang habis. I go back to break even. Break even. If you want to put that break even analysis, okay, now come back to break even. Saya tak habis tadi. You know that there is a profit, there is a loss. Okay, there's profit and a loss there. So we can put this in terms of equation. Okay, we can put this in terms of equation where we have total revenue equal to total cost, ataupun we can simplify this. Px, P, what is P? P is price. What is X? X is quantity we produce. So maknanya this is revenue lah. Revenue equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. V adalah volume, variable cost. X adalah unit. Okay. V adalah variable cost per unit. Okay. So we simplify this, we get this equation. Okay. Break even point dalam bentuk quantity will be equal to fixed cost divided by price. Okay, price of selling price minus variable cost. So this is how we can get break even in terms of calculation lah. Tadi saya tunjuk di graphics lah, graphical. Okay, so you need to understand this basic formula here. Okay, break even point is given by this. Maknanya kalau kita ada graph tadi, we have one line here and we have a line kat sini. Okay, so this is a break even. Okay, this is line mana menunjukkan line revenue lah. Kita start daripada kosong sini. Start daripada kosong. This is, if this is X, which is the quantity, okay, quantity produced. Sometimes people use Q, tak kisah apa-apa yang guna tapi maksudnya sama. And this line is revenue punya line, okay, ataupun total cost. It represent the same. Can use the same line, revenue ataupun cost, depend on what you see. Okay, so this intersection point is, we call it break even point. So if we put it mathematics, okay, BEP X, maknanya X ni adalah menggambarkan kuantiti lah. Okay, kita ada juga BEP dalam bentuk mata wang. Okay, saya akan tunjuk lepas ni. Break even point also can be represent dalam bentuk, okay, mata wang. Okay, but in this case break even point adalah dalam bentuk quantity. So F adalah fixed cost divided by price per unit, selling price minus variable. Okay, so this is the point that we get here. Okay. Okay, if you want to convert break even point dalam bentuk quantity tadi ke dalam bentuk mata wang, so this is the equation here. BEP dollar equal to BEP quantity multiplied by price. Okay, P is the price. Okay, so the equation here adalah F divided by P minus V, okay, multiplied by P. Okay, same as what we have here. The same, F divided by P minus V. Okay, F P minus V, bezanya di sini adalah V multiplied by P. Okay, we simplify that, so now the formula become like this. Okay, so this is basically fixed cost divided by 1 minus a ratio of variable cost divided by price. Okay, variable cost divided by price. So variable cost should be smaller compared to price lah. Okay, otherwise, okay, this one become negative. Okay, so this is where we get BEP dalam bentuk currency value. Okay, so if you want to know the profit, okay, I explained earlier, revenue minus total cost. Okay, so ataupun price minus variable multiplied by X minus F. Okay, so this is example. Let's say fixed cost is 10,000. Okay, direct labor ni kira apa? Cost apa ni? Kategori apa?
Variable cost.
Variable cost. Okay, apabila dia ada over unit, maksudnya variable cost. Okay, this is variable cost. Okay, variable cost. Sebab dia bergantung pada unit. Okay, so material. What is material? Cost apa? Also variable cost. Variable cost. Okay, you see here, F divided by 1 minus V over P. So fixed cost adalah 10,000. 1 minus, remember variable lah, variable sekarang ni RM1.50 campur dengan 75 sebab dia dalam variable cost juga, divide by selling price. Okay, selling price. And V over P supposed to be V smaller than P lah. Okay, sebab price kita nak untung kan, nak untung mesti harga jualan mesti tinggi daripada variable cost. Okay, so from there you can get that to have break even, the income of this business should be at least 22,857. Okay, to get the break even, so that to earn the profit, you must have more than 22,857. Kalau kita nak tukar dalam bentuk quantity, okay, we just use the original formula, and in terms of quantity, you must sell at least 5,714 unit. Okay, barulah kita tidak rugi. Okay, to get profit, you must sell this above 5,740. Okay, itulah kita panggil single unit. Dalam kes ini adalah single unit. Produk yang dihasilkan adalah satu unit, satu jenis saja. This single product. Okay, normally in company, you don't produce one product. You may produce more than one product. Okay, more than one product. This is kalau kita tunjuk yang tadi lah dalam bentuk mata wang. Okay, bentuk mata wang dan juga, dalam bentuk dollar, which is total cost or revenue, this case, and quantity. So you want to know that how much is your profit. The profit is the difference between cost and revenue lah. Okay, the more you produce, the more you get the profit, and this part is rugi lah, the loss, the loss area. How much to produce? This is the minimum you need to produce to have break even. To get profit, you produce more than this. Okay, so multi-product case. Okay, kita juga ada multi-product case, di mana kita mempunyai more than one products. Okay, kalau multi-product case, okay, so we need to give weightage. Okay, dalam formula ini ada weightage, ada weightage pemberat. Okay, pemberat diberikan. Okay, so you have the same formula kat sini, F over 1 minus V over P. Tapi we have small I, PI, and WI. So this is the weightage for the product. This is the case where you have multiple product case. Okay, mungkin syarikat katakan perabot mengeluarkan kerusi, mengeluarkan meja, mengeluarkan almari. So we want to know what is the break even to produce kerusi. What is the break even quantity to produce meja? What is break even to produce almari dan sebagainya. So we have to use weightage kat sini. Okay, the same formula. Okay, you see that the formula is the same, except there is a weightage. Okay, this formula is the same, but with addition of summation and the weightage. Okay, so the weight is percentage of product is of the total dollar sale expressed in decimal point. Okay, I is the product. Okay, so we have to get the weightage and we get the summation of it. Okay, example here, let's say I have a small restaurant. Okay, the fixed cost for renting a restaurant is 3,000 per month. You are selling sandwich, you are selling drink, you are selling baked potato. We want to know how much we should sell sandwich or drink or baked potato so that we don't make any loss. Okay, so how we can do that? We know that the price of sandwich, we are selling at 5 ringgit, we bought it at 3 ringgit, the cost. The drink, kita jual RM1.50, kita beli, costnya adalah 50 sen saja. Potato RM2 and then costnya RM1. So this is we based on previous experience, our forecast say 9,000. This is annual, maknanya setahun. 9,000 dan 7,000. So now we want to know what should be the break even. Okay, for the whole restaurant ataupun by individual products. Okay, the product here is 3 product di sini. So we know that we know the selling price, we know the variable cost. Now V over P, dalam formula ada V over P kan? Okay, so we can get this value V over P. Variable cost divided by price, and the 1 minus V over P pun kita boleh kira. Okay, the forecast sale kita boleh kira 90,000 multiplied by sale. The sale is 5. Okay, 5 per unit harga jualan 45,000. Okay, untuk drink 9,000 multiplied by 150, 13,500. Dan di sini pun kita boleh tahu, and from there total of the the ratio kat sini, the total should be 1 lah. Okay, because 45,000 divided by 70,500 kita dapat 0.62. Okay, 30,500 divided by 72 kita dapat 186, and so on. So how we want to know the W? Okay, weight contribution, W. Remember in our formula tadi, we have this W, this W, this WI. Okay, WI. So the WI can be obtained from column 5 multiply dengan column 7. Okay, because in the formula we have the last one is W. Sorry, the last one is multiply kita nak tahu dia punya W weighted, kita nak tahu weighted contribution tadi. Okay, so 1 minus V over P multiply by sale, kita dapat ini. Okay, 0.247. Apabila kita multiplykan 0.4, which is 1 minus VP multiply by the weightage. This is the weightage sebenarnya. Okay, WI. Okay, WI. So what we have here is, remember the formula says F divided by summation of 1 minus V over P WI. Okay, this is the case of multi-product. Okay, biasanya dalam mana-mana business, we not only selling one product, but we are selling more than one product. So you want to know what is the break-even for multi-product. Okay, so this is the formula, what we get it here. Okay, this formula. Okay, this formula. Okay, remember this is summation of this term, okay, inside this bracket. Okay, so that's what we are doing dalam bentuk table tadi lah. Okay, so this W multiplied by 1 minus V over P, we get this. Okay, we get this. And total of this maknanya denominator lah. Okay, denominator. Ataupun kalau saya gunakan ini, okay, ini bermaksud these are the values. We replace this. Okay, 0.470. Okay, this is 4.70. Oleh kerana okay, our calculation is based on annual, so we should get annually, in order to not make any loss, is 76,597. Okay, so this value is fixed cost multiplied by 12 months divided by this. Okay, this is the calculation that we did just now. So break even dollar maksudnya the income, okay, the revenue, okay, and the cost, okay, at that break even point should be 78,597. So jadi kalau kita buat dalam bentuk graf, ini bermaksud okay, it's very important for you to understand because not only calculation, but you need to be able to interpret, okay, what is the meaning of this. Okay, so kalau di sini adalah in term of X ataupun quantity, di sini adalah in term of dollar. Okay, so this is the revenue and this is the cost. So what we are saying is this company is selling these 3 products, okay, should have okay, let me get different color kat sini. Okay, should achieve this. Okay, this will be 76 596. In term of total revenue and total cost kat sini. Sebab tak ada untung, tak ada rugi di sini ya. Kalau dia nak untung, dia must be within this area. Okay, must be within this area. Okay, sebab this is total cost. This is total cost. Okay, for all 3 products. For all 3 products. Okay, so kalau dalam bentuk quantity, this is in term of quantity, which is we call it break even point dalam bentuk X. How many quantity? For daily sales, okay, kita boleh convert nantilah sebab dia quantity dia akan berbeza-beza. Berbeza-beza kerana produknya berlainan. Okay, produk berlainan. Tapi in term of sales, dia berada di vertical axis, quantity berada di bawah. Jadi kalau kita nak tahu daily sales seperti yang ditunjuk di sini, kita bagi dengan bilangan hari lah. How many days we work for 1 year. So every day that business must sell, jualan, pendapatan jualan adalah 245. Okay. So jadi kalau kita nak tahu, kalau untuk sandwich sahaja, how many sandwich you be selling per day? So kita gunakan 6, okay, di sini 6:1 multiply by daily sale for the whole restaurant, bahagikan dengan harganya, you should be selling at least 30 sandwich per day. in order to break even, tak rugi lah. Okay, so where we get 0.621, 0.621 is coming from here. Okay, di sini untuk sandwich. Jadi kalau kita nak tengok untuk drinks, kita guna pemberat inilah. Kalau untuk baked potato, kita guna pemberat ini. Okay, so we can know that how much that we can produce, selling, okay, untuk sandwich, untuk drink, untuk potato and so on. Okay, so this is what we call it multiple products, break even. Okay, any questions sampai situ? Okay, how we can use break even to determine the minimum quantity so that we are not losing, not doing any losses lah in business. Kalau kita nak dapat profit berapa, we have to target berapa, then we have to find how much profit that we want lah. Contohnya kalau katakan kat sini, okay, you have that line, how much profit you want. So the more you go after that break even point, okay, the more you will get lah. So kalau you are targeting certain profit, so you must add after that break even lah. After that break even. Boleh faham So the break even is no loss, no profit. That break even point, the intersection. Okay, can I move on? Okay, Ahmad Azizi, can you summarize what I've discussed so far after the break tadi? Hello, Ahmad.
Hello.
Ya, apa yang saya dah
So-
bincangkan since last selepas break tadi?
So apa yang kita bincangkan lepas break tadi adalah kita belajar tentang macam mana nak kira break even point bagi untuk quantity dan untuk price.
Okay.
Ya, kita boleh kira value break even point tu guna formula yang kita dah belajar tadi.
Okay, so we discuss about multi products, bukan satu
multi-
produk. Okay, sebelum tu kita bincang satu produk saja. Sekarang ni sebenarnya break even tu boleh kira untuk multi produk sekali. Maksudnya biasanya bisnes dia tak ada satu produk. Kalau ada restoran, dia ada jual makanan, ada jual mie, ada jual nasi, ada jual macam-macam. Jadi kita nak tahu berapa kuantiti yang perlu kita jual supaya kita tidak mengalami kerugian. Okay, kalau nak untung mesti lebih daripada break even point. Okay?
Ya, betul.
Alright, so kalau dah tak ada soalan, okay, siapa-siapa ada soalan please ask. I want to move to chapter 6 which is quality. Okay, anyone has any question, please ask now.
Doktor.
Yes. Yes.
How the company determine the forecast?
How the company determine the forecast? Okay, good question. Good question. Forecast. Forecast is based on historical. Okay. Sebenarnya kita ada teknik untuk forecast. Okay. Sama ada based on historical data, maksudnya data yang lepas lah. Katakan you dah berniaga beberapa tahun, you akan dapat anggaran lah. Anggaran berdasarkan data-data sejarah yang lepas. Okay. Selain daripada itu sebenarnya forecasting ni dia satu chapter khas sebenarnya. I think in your syllabus is not covered, but sebab kita have so many chapters, tapi kita boleh berdasarkan kepada historical record. Katakan pada bulan Januari tahun lepas, okay, kita menjual 100 unit. Jadi kita boleh assume pada tahun ini at least 100 juga, ataupun kita dapatlah percentage nak increase berapa. Ada kita gunakan, kita panggil moving average, kita ada exponential weighted moving average, kita ada kaedah yang regression method untuk forecast. Okay, ada beberapa teknik dia lah. Tapi cara yang paling mudah adalah dipanggil kaedah naif lah. Naif ni maknanya kita refer kepada jualan yang lepas. Kata kita berniaga kasih lemak, semalam laku 100 bungkus. Okay, hari ni nak buat berapa bungkus? Macam itulah. Jadi kita kata, okay, semalam bagus bisnes. Kita buat seperti semalam juga. Okay, itu kaedah yang paling simple. Tapi tiba-tiba tengok lakunya 70 sahaja. Tapi kita fokus seperti semalam. So, jadi the next day kita adjust. Okay, sebenarnya 100 tu tak tepat. Jadi bezanya 30. Okay, ada kaedah dia di mana kita menggunakan kaedah pemberat. Okay, di mana forecast tersebut kita dapati error yang 30 katakan. Jadi untuk buat hari seterusnya adakah nak buat 70 ke nak buat 100. Jadi berdasarkan pada error yang kita ada tu kita akan beri pemberat. Kalau kita rasa error tu adalah terlalu dynamic, okay, kita guna pemberat yang besar. Okay. Kalau kita menggunakan error tersebut adalah secara random, kecil, jadi kita gunakan pemberat yang kecil lah. So ada kita panggil weighted moving average. Di dalam buku teks e-book tu memang ada satu chapter on forecasting. Okay, kalau you need to know more detail, you boleh refer kat situ lah ataupun you ambil option production planning and control lah dalam industrial engineering. Okay?
Doctor.
Yes.
I have another question. Because usually for forecast method, there are like few top-down analysis, regression method, and so on. But usually that method is for company that has been start their business for a few years. How about a startup company?
Startup is
Can
very
they
difficult. Okay.
Forecast.
Okay, startup is very challenging lah because you don't have enough information. Okay, you don't have enough information. How many? So the best way to start small lah. To start small, you don't make. You have to test the market. Okay, because kalau you produce in high quantity, suddenly nobody want to buy, you are losing lah. So the best way is test the market, and then macam tadi lah kita kata kalau kita mempunyai permintaannya adalah rendah, kapasiti yang tinggi, we make promotion lah. So from that promotion you can expect. Sebenarnya ada teknik sih bang dalam operation research kalau you buat promotion melalui television, contohnya you invest the money in advertising in television ataupun advertising in newspaper ataupun ada media, kita tengok effectiveness of that media. Okay, based on historical yang syarikat-syarikat lain yang buat, kita boleh tengok. Kalau we invest more money on advertisement, we are expecting higher demand. Okay, the only way is maknanya you kena buat advertisement lah to stimulate the demand, to create awareness. Maknanya sale ni dia dah berdasarkan kepada awareness. Kalau orang tak pernah nampak you punya brand, siapa nak beli? Okay, so advertising, letakkan dalam radio, dalam television, dalam billboard dan sebagainya, itu adalah form of create awareness. When you create more awareness, more sales. So apabila you dah buat advertisement, you are expecting higher demand lah. Maknanya cara macam tu je. Tapi we start with small. It's but you need to test the market. To make it competitive, you have to give a competitive price. Jangan you punya harga lebih tinggi sebab nobody will buy because you don't have a record that your product is good. So when the product is becoming more popular, okay, you can adjust the price to be at least at par with the existing product. Okay, and then keep improving to give more features dan sebagainya. Okay, that's the only way because a new startup you don't have any information. Okay, so very risky if you produce a large quantity in the beginning of your business. I think it's quite normal in any business starting very slow, and in fact you have to understand what we call it product life cycle. Okay, itu pun kita tak cover di sini product life cycle. I think you can look at in your e-books. Ada satu chapter berkaitan dengan product life cycle. Tak silap saya mungkin chapter 4 atau chapter 5. Ada product life cycle. We have to understand the product life cycle from introduction, from growth, maturity dan decline. So you will tailor the quantity based on where you are in product life cycle. So when you are going to maturity, you can increase the volume of the production. When you go to maturity, basically your competition is very high, and one way to get customer is you reduce the price but give more quality products. Okay, so understanding product life cycle is very important. Tapi unfortunately because this subject banyak sangat topik yang kita nak cover. Tapi kalau ada peluang mungkin saya cuba highlight lah. It's very important to understand product life cycle. Sebab many businesses dia buka kedai 3 bulan dia terus tutup sebab they don't understand about product life cycle. Okay, this is a problem. Okay, if you understand product life cycle, we are expecting at the beginning no profit. You are more spending for running the businesses. After you are getting the fasa introduction to the lepas, you are the growth in your phase. From there, baru you can have profit. Okay, if you understand that, anybody want to go into business, they must understand product life cycle. Kita hayat produk tersebut. Okay? And also a product pun ada hayat dia, toward the end dia akan decline the demand. So we have to do something. Maknanya improve design, put more features dan sebagainya. Okay, I hope that briefly answered you in general. Okay, any more question?
Betul.
Alright, so let me go to quality ya. Saya dah share dalam WhatsApp. Okay, on quality, I hope you get that slide. Okay, I'm sharing now. Nampak tak? Quality.
Nampak ke?
Okay, this is a new topics. Okay, very important topics. Also, this will be covered also in test 1. So managing quality, managing quality. Quality is another important aspect ataupun function for any engineers, termasuklah mechanical engineer, industrial engineering. Okay, how we can manage quality. Sebelum ni kita lihat aspek-aspek cost, berkaitan dengan cost, nak tentukan cost, nak tentukan profit dan sebagainya. Okay, so another element is how we can manage quality. So before we can manage quality, kita kena faham what is meant by quality. So different people might be referring to quality differently. Okay. So contoh yang senang lah. Kalau quality ni kita tengok, kalau kita pakai katakan, saya bagi contoh yang senang lah. Kata you are going to sewa hotel lah, sewa hotel. Okay, how do you decide which hotel is good quality? Hello? Tak dengar? Kuat sikit.
Rating.
Swimming pool. Ada swimming pool mana quality ke? Hotel yang berkualiti?
Rating.
Review.
Okay, so you kata 5 bintang tu quality lah. Kalau 2 bintang tu kurang quality lah. Okay, that is how people recognize, classifying hotel based on quality. But when we say a quality hotel, bukan nama quality hotel tu berkualiti, kita expecting dia adalah bersih, okay, basic items ada, okay, bersih dan juga selamat dan sebagainya lah. Itu masuk ke quality. Okay, I give you another scenario. Katakan you sewa satu hotel, okay, harga dia adalah 250. Kalau 250 ni berapa bintang? Hello? 5 bintang, okay? Okay, kalau RM50, berapa bintang?
2.
2 bintang. Okay, 2 bintang. Katakan, okay. Okay, kalau you bayar 250, what is your expectation? That hotel tu perlu ada apa?
Selesa. Aircon.
Selesa. Okay, ada aircon, okay. Bayar 250 nak aircon lah kan? Okay, nak swimming pool, nak apa lagi? TV? Do you expect to have TV, television? Bayar 250.
Expect ada. Ada TV.
Okay.
Full channel.
Full channel. Breakfast included tak?
Included.
Okay,
At least for 2%.
Included for 2%. Okay, so you expecting aircon pun berfungsi, tapi tiba-tiba bayar 250, tengok aircon pun tak jalan, ada kipas je. Lepas tu breakfast pun tak ada. Lepas tu tandas pun taklah bersih sangat. Okay, how do you say? Is it a quality or not? Tadi kata 250 tu 5 star kan, tapi tiba-tiba tengok breakfast pun tak ada, aircon pun tak sejuk, tak bersih. Is it a quality or not?
Tak.
Disappointed. Okay, walaupun diklaim sebagai 5 star. Okay, kalau you bayar RM50, okay, expectation apa? Ada TV tak?
Tak ada.
Okay, you expect tak ada TV. Breakfast ada tak?
Tak ada.
Tak ada.
Ada kata.
Kita katil dia.
Expect boleh tidur je suka.
Boleh tidur je. Okay. Katakan bayar RM50, ada aircon. Okay. Breakfast percuma, bersih. Happy tak? Happy. So berkualiti tak? Quality tak?
Berkualiti.
Ha? Tadi kata 2 star ya, sekarang ni berkualiti tak?
Berkualiti.
For money saya.
Sangat berkualiti.
Value for money. Jadi maksud saya sekarang ni, quality sebenarnya sesuatu yang relatif. Okay, expectation pelanggan. Okay, quality is based on customer expectation. Customer satisfaction is very important on quality. So jadi kita katakan quality adalah okay, identify that anything that satisfy customer need. Okay, customer tu puas hati tak? Okay. Operation managers ataupun what we are studying now macam from the operational perspective, objective is to build total quality management system that identify satisfaction. Jadi kita boleh katakan quality is customer satisfaction. Okay. When we are talking about quality, we are referring to what happened to my PowerPoint. You nampak tak sekarang ni? Macam hilang
Black screen.
Black screen. Okay, what happened to okay. Oh. Sekejap Okay. Nampak balik defining quality, nampak?
Nampak.
Okay.
Nampak,
So quality is talking about customer, okay? Customer satisfaction. Okay. Kalau dalam engineering design kita kata it is meeting specification. Okay, pun boleh kata juga quality is when we meet the specification, memenuhi spesifikasi. Kalau dalam bentuk customer tadi adalah customer experience, we say that quality is satisfy customer need. Customer puas hati tak kira lah dia 5 bintang ke 2 bintang ke, tapi kita bayar RM50, we are satisfied. Okay, kalau kita bayar 250, hotelnya 5 bintang sepatutnya, tapi dia tidak memenuhi perception kita. Okay, kita masih berkata dia tidak berkualiti. Okay, so quality kalau lihat dari segi designer, dia adalah meeting the specification, memenuhi spesifikasi. Okay. So quality ini sebenarnya dia ada dimension of quality dia bukannya kepuasan saja, dia juga merangkumi reliability, safety, performance dan beberapa aspek lagi lah. Okay. So different views of quality. Okay. So user perspective kita kata good performance lah. Okay. So we have some features. Daripada manufacturing perspective dia kata conformant to standard. Okay, memenuhi standard. Okay, kalau products, okay, product based definition of quality or different view of quality dia kata specific and measurable attributes. Okay, apa yang kita boleh ukur pada produk tersebut, sama ada dari segi fungsinya, dari segi dimensionnya dan sebagainya. Okay. So it is very important aspect, quality is very important to give the reputation for company, okay, reputation for company. It give also reliability of products. Okay. Produk itu reliable, maksudnya reliable ini adalah kita mengukur prestasi produk dalam jangka masa yang expected lah. Okay, adakah produk itu reliable ataupun tidak. Okay, maksud saya di sini adalah liability liability berkaitan dengan risk, risiko product liability. Okay, so in general we have said that quality is very important. If we are not taking care of quality, okay, long term customer akan mencari pilihan yang lain. We know that customer have a choice. Dia akan cari alternatif lain. Okay, cari alternatif lain. Okay, so quality banyak perspektif. Okay, saya skip this part. Okay. We also learn about, we know maybe some of you may have heard about ISO 9000. So this is what we call it quality management system. Okay, ISO 9000, 9001 dan sebagainya. Okay. Cost of quality, cost of prevention, cost of appraisal dan sebagainya. I want to move to kita panggil tools for quality. The tools of quality. I have about 5 more minutes. Okay, you need to understand this. Please read also this part of tools for quality. Okay, tools for quality. Okay, before that, okay, this is a common what we call it techniques for quality improvement. We call it PDCA. Okay, PDCA model, okay, introduced by Schwartz. Okay, so P maknanya plan, do maknanya do lah, test the plan, check and X. So mana-mana management normally they are talking about PDCA. Okay, PDCA cycle. So this is how we can address problem, quality problem, identify the problem, okay, where we plan. After that we implement that, we do it, and then we check whether the plan is working. After that we are acting. If there is we act, maknanya implement and documenting the plan tadi lah. So PDCA model is macam kita kata is a guideline for us to solve a problem, problem solving. Okay, we do plan, do, check, act. So in the management, okay, so this plan, do, check and act is commonly being referred lah. Okay, we must have plan. The plan, tak ada plan tak boleh tak boleh. You cannot just directly go to do. Must plan. After plan, you test the plan and then you check whether the plan is working, and then after that, if it works, you implement and document it. Why you document? Because we want to standardize it. Continuous improvement is another common term yang digunakan di dalam dalam quality lah, okay, ataupun dalam Japanese dia kata Kaizen, okay, continuous improvement. Okay, Six Sigma, I will cover that later lah. We go to control chart, we look at Six Sigma. But first you need to understand the basic of what we call it 7 tools. 7 tools. Okay, 7 basic tools. Okay, basic tools dalam quality. Ataupun di sini dipanggil 7 tools in TQM. Okay, what is TQM? TQM is Total Quality Management. Okay, so we have, these are basic tools, basic tools yang ada. And sometimes people call this as dipanggil 7 basic tools. Okay, check sheet, scatter diagram, cause and effect diagram, Pareto chart and flow chart. Sudah 5 kat situ, dah 5 tools. Ada histogram dan juga SPC, statistical tools. So these are basic tools. Okay. Untuk for the first tools, kita panggil check sheet lah. Sheet, I think is common whenever you go to do any inspection, we carry the check sheet. Okay, check sheet. And organized method for recording data. Okay, this is check sheet. Kalau you pergi service kereta katakan, normally they use check sheet to identify kat mana bahagian-bahagian kereta yang telah tercala, rosak dan sebagainya sebelum kita hand over the kereta. Itu pun guna check sheet juga. Okay. So we also have scatter diagram. Okay, scatter diagram to look at the differences ataupun relationship between variable 1 dengan variable 2. Okay. So we have fishbone diagram. Okay, fishbone. Kita panggil ini cause and effect diagram. Okay, cause and effect diagram. And then this is what we call it Pareto diagram. Okay, and ini kita panggil flow chart. Okay, flow chart, histogram. Okay, and then the last one is control chart. Okay, so I think that's all for today. And then please go through this slide, especially on the 7 basic SPC tools. And I will put in your WhatsApp some exercise that you need to do related to chapter on capacity dan juga related to yang break even tadi kan, break even. So we will continue more on 7 basic SPC tools for the next class. Okay, before we end, okay, any question? Hello? Ada soalan?
Doktor.
Ada soalan? Okay, I want to ask Bawitiran. Bawitiran, are you there?
Doctor?
Yes, can you summarize what we learned related to quality?
Quality, basically, like how do we actually need to manage the quality of the products to increase the profit of the products. Like we have to increase the quality, at the same time we have to reduce the cost and also increase the sales.
What is quality?
Quality is actually the strength of the product in terms of everything, sir. Like the highest level of the in every matter.
Okay, I want to ask Diana. Okay, Diana, what do you understand quality? We just discussed just now. Okay, Diana, how do we define quality? Okay, tak respon tak ada ke ada ni?
It's better performance, sir. It's like better performance. We need to satisfy the customer's need.
Yes, it's related to customer need. Okay.
Yes.
Customer satisfaction. Yes, customer satisfaction. Depend on who see the quality. It can be from perspective of designer, could be perspective of manufacturer, perspective of customer, different views of qualities. Okay,
Yes.
Wang Sheng. Hello. Okay, can you list down 7 tools that I just mentioned? 7 SPC tools. Okay, please. Okay, can anyone volunteer? What are 7 tools? Okay, next time, if I call the name, no answer, I assume
Yes,
you just
improvement.
disappear.
Continuous improvement.
I just mentioned 7 tools just now.
Check sheet,
Check sheet, okay.
scatter
Yes.
diagram,
Scatter diagram,
cause and effect diagram,
cause and effect diagram,
Pareto chart,
Pareto chart,
flow chart,
flow chart,
histogram,
histogram.
Statistical process control chart.
Okay, SPC, SPC, okay. So this we will cover next class. Okay, in the meantime, please go through the notes and read the chapters on this. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Sudah.
Thank you.